Did you know Defence Forces personnel are the lowest paid workers in the public service? This has led to falling numbers in terms of recruitment and retention. With this in mind, it got us thinking and chatting. Would we join the army?
Hang on. They're the lowest paid in the public service?
Yes.
Lower than the boys on the road with the county council?
Are they technically public service, lad? Would we join, John? Would you join?
Well, at the moment, they say the full strength of the Army, the Navy, the Air Corps combined should be 9,500, but it's now down 1,000.
Okay.
So this is the lowest point since numbers were increased in the 1970s, ever since the Troubles were kicking off at that time. So Johnny, right, before we know whether we would join the army or not, what did the army actually do?
What did they do?
What time are they doing that?
Who are they going down and wait?
That's if they're going to do that at all. Right, to defend the Irish state against armed aggression. It's probably like ICA protests at the moment, but it could be, there could be terrorism, right? And you wouldn't know. See, that's the thing. We'll all be slagging the army, going, you're in an old summer camp. You know what I mean? Then if ISIS invade, you'd be like, hey Mick, you're in the army. How'd you go?
Sort this out, Mick. Sort this out.
And then there's also like if there's a flood or there's a snow or anything like that.
Yeah, they'll be throwing sandbags and doing a bit of ploughing.
Yeah. No, they used to do the cash vans. They don't do the cash vans anymore.
Seemingly, an army insider told us that the banks didn't want to pay the money for the army. So now they get a private security firm to go around and dish out the money.
And I'll tell you, the banks have the money.
And they have it, lads. They have it now. They have it.
If there's a state visit, remember like the Queen would be coming over, Trump or someone. The army would... What?
Well, the army, boy, they'd be in the ditch.
The army are in the ditch.
They're in the ditch. You don't even know they're there.
And the face painted.
Yeah.
And the camouflage on.
And the guards are looking good then. They're all flexed on the side of the road.
And high vis.
High vis, looking good.
Eating potatoes.
Yeah, and the poor army boys are inside, shitting in a hole, inside in the ditch. Bad form.
They do armed watch at prisons. So we heard that you do a 2-month stint. It's like 3.5 days a week on, 3.5 days a week off. So you and another crew are over and back 24 hours a day. And when you're in there's no phones and you get fed in prison and all. And then you could be escorting prisoners to hospital, or if there's a dangerous prisoner from like terrorism or gangs or whatever, you'd be escorting them from court to the prison. They do a lot of courses, training, upskilling. They might have to do, I don't know, karate. They do a lot of courses like weapons and all that. They had to be prepping for when they're going overseas.
Yeah, obviously these courses are helping them for, their operations overseas, I would imagine.
For what they're going doing.
Yeah.
And where they're going doing that. And then they have their overseas missions. So this is described as to participate in multinational peace support, crisis management. I do a bit of that myself. And
sorry, lad, that's only on Sundays.
Humanitarian relief. That's when Johnny Smacks is hungover. I bring him the Häagen-Dazs, the humanitarian relief.
He drops the parcel into the backyard. It comes down. Häagen-Dazs and sweet chili sensations coming down. Coming down, all lovely. That's grand. That's me Sunday chicken roll as well.
Okay, so we've looked into some of the positives and negatives of joining the army. The big negative, Johnny Smacks, that we talked about, the first thing that came to mind, the chance of dying.
Yeah, like, people, it's all well and good. People saying, oh yeah, like, I love Ireland. I love Ireland. Would you die for Ireland? You know what I mean? Would you die for your country? Now, I know the chances of dying in the Irish army would be like a lot less than if you're an American. You're nearly guaranteed. No, but you're nearly, if you're in the army, you're probably going to go to some sort of a war.
Yeah, you're going to see a bit of action.
You're going to see a bit of action. And probably in the UK, a higher chance as well. Yeah. But in Ireland, there's probably not that high a chance. But still, at the same time, it's dangerous stuff.
Wicked.
If you're going out there to Chad or, Vietnam or wherever it is now that they're doing the peacekeeping stuff.
Bit Lebanon.
Yeah, Lebanon.
Middle East.
Was the word.
You're in the Golden Heights.
Yeah. Hey, that's no joke.
That's worse than the Swan and the Davins in Carrick.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, but that's what happens. So you're walking the line all the time, and that would be in my head because I have a terrible fear of dying. Yeah. So it freaks me out. So that would be my thing. I'd be like, don't know about dying.
Just on the dying, the last military death in Ireland of an Irish soldier was 2007. Mm-hmm. Now that was overseas. There don't be too many Irish soldiers killed in Ireland, thank God. And in total there has been 86 deaths in the Irish military, 26 in the Congo. Congo's a rough spot, lad. 9 in Cyprus.
They're just on holiday out in Cyprus.
Yeah, I find that very weird.
9 in Cyprus, 2 in the Middle East, and 46 in the Lebanon.
Wow.
Yeah, so God rest him. That's tough
Yeah.
going. That would scare me off going.
That would definitely scare me.
But no, the big thing that would not suit Johnny Smacks is
hard training.
the training.
Like, I'm hard set to train for our junior A hurling team. You know, I'll find the grass is too hard, or the ground's too hard. You know, too hot. Training's
cold.
not good enough. Too cold. Injuries. The whole lot. This is serious training. Now, we talked to a young lad from our club is in the army.
Yeah.
And we asked him, you know, what are you doing there for the first 17 weeks of training? And he said, oh, you'd be out fucking going through fields and sleeping, digging holes for yourself to sleep in and shitting in holes. And, you know, it's grim. And as soon as he said the training is hard, I was like, I'm gone already. And then when he told me the rest, I was like, my God. And it turns out, and only talking about this, it brought it back to me, that many years ago when I was a butcher in Super Value, and like my wages, I wasn't on much money and I didn't have much job prospects. You know, I thought like this is it for the rest of my life. I was like, right, it's the guards or the army. Because I'm thinking like steady wage, you know, healthcare, get a pension then and stuff like that. So it was the guards or the army. Now I'd be a savage guard because I'm half a prick anyway.
You have enough neck.
And I have that mutton head on me, you know, that mutton head. That's me, big steak neck on
Man,
me.
you would have been such a bad guard.
Oh, yeah. 100%. Imagine me pulling you over. Oh,
You would be writing the penalty points with one hand and wanking with the other hand.
loving the power.
How'd you know how fast you were going?
You're done. I know it's Sunday, but I don't care. Anyway, it was the guards or the army, and the guards weren't recruiting. So I went for the army.
You went for the
so
army?
I properly applied, yeah. I actually rang a fella we know from Care, and he's in the army, and I was like, what's the story? And he was like, oh, it's not for everyone. And I just thought like, oh, he's just saying that. And I said, what he was really trying to say was, there's no way you will last in the army. But I applied, and I got the date for my physical.
Okay.
And thankfully I had a knee operation the week before and I couldn't do it, so that was the end of my army dream. I got a couple of letters then been like rescheduled, and I was like, nah.
But were you aware of what the fitness test for the army is?
Yeah, I knew what it was. I'd managed that. I genuinely think I'd managed that. It's
Whoa. Let's do it. Not right now, like, but
I'm not doing it now, right now.
so you have to have a BMI
I'd struggle on the BMI.
of less than 29.
Yeah,
You have to do 20 push-ups in a minute,
that's grand.
then 20 sit-ups in a minute, and then you have to run 2.4 kilometers in less than 11 minutes 40 seconds.
But you know, I think I'd be fine with all that. I was obviously a little bit fitter back when I applied for it.
Yeah.
But the BMI I'd get that alright. The run would be grand, because I do this thing when I'm running anyway at
What?
GA training. I pretend there's someone following me. Do you ever do that? Do you ever do that? No, I maybe I'm just the only person who does that. But you know, when you're young and say like you're running and stuff, like you're running, that's fine. But if you're after bobby knocking someone's house,
The man is going to get you.
or the shades are following you, I'm telling you now, you get this new gear of speed, I would say. Like, it's like sixth gear, turbo,
Man,
NOS.
It's like your inner
Yeah.
self kicks in of
Yeah.
like, oh, remember like back in the day when lions and tigers used to chase adrenaline.
Fight or flight.
That's what it is. And you get faster. So now, like, sometimes if I'm at GA training, I know, like, right, this is the last one, put it in. Then I'd be thinking, right, something's chasing me now. Some serial killer's chasing me.
The man is going to take you away.
That's it then. The vein pops in me head. Vein comes out me the side of me forehead, and that's it. Gianluca Vialli job, lad. I'm tearing away. So I think that's what I do for the army. That 2.4k, I'd be like, right, serial killer after me now. And then you just adrenaline kick in, take you through.
The bit that I hate about the army training is that they send you out with a backpack on your back and you're carrying the big heavy machine gun and you're running around and you're putting up tents and digging a hole that you have to shite in and you're sleeping outside and you're getting wet, and I'm telling you, they're going to be damp socks and damp shoes and, you know,
Thistles and thorns.
oh, there's going to be old pneumonia and old bunions and blisters and old calluses and old hard skin in your feet, and your hands will get wet then, and then like the bottom of your sleeves will get wet, and then, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Can I just interject there? You know when they shit in the hole?
Yeah.
Like, do they bring Tylenol with them?
I'd say, so our mate in the army was saying, you have a bag,
Yeah.
and you can pretty much bring whatever you want within reason, but you have to carry it.
Yeah, but Tylenol's light enough.
Yeah, it's supposed to take up a room.
Yeah, but like, you know, when they wipe Where do they put the Tylenol in? Is Tylenol biodegradable? Are the army doing their bit for keeping this world green?
They're not using dock leaves.
Yeah, I was just wondering that. Like what do they do?
Yeah, I think that they have a system of looking after.
There you go. Now there's the question.
Yeah, it's the camping outside. No.
Camping outside like, won't work well for you. You used to say to me, like, I'd be like, you coming for a game of 5-a-side down the Astro? And you'd be like, no, it's drizzling. I don't want to get cold. You have a woolly hat on in summer, lad. You are the coldest crater I've ever seen.
Hey, you won't even camp at Electric Picnic.
Hey, close that window. Freezing. Close. What's the story with the AC in the car there? That's freezing. Oh, the man is constantly cold. You wouldn't last 10 seconds out in the army, lad.
You won't even camp at a festival.
You get cold, bring your mammy. Oh, bring out the Kleenex, mammy. I've runny nose.
Go away. I can't get you to use a porta cabin. I'm talking about digging holes. It's the pure hardship.
Oh, it's absolute hardship.
The army, I have respect for them lads. It's pure hardship.
Yeah.
And the other big problem is fellas shouting in your face.
I'm not the best disciplined man in a lot of aspects.
Go away.
Yeah. But I can't, so if I get woke up from my sleep,
Yeah.
you better get out of here. Whoever it is. If you're waking me up, do it from 40 feet away.
Right.
Because if I can catch you, that's it. But odds are most of the time I won't be able to catch you. But some fella shouting at you now at 4 o'clock in the morning, and then you having to go on a run through a forest or something. I think I'd cry. I'd be just like, get me mother, I'm done. Tell her pick me up.
And it's also kind of pointless in that, the barracks is not on fire. You'd be looking at the drill sergeant going, can we just take a rain check? I'll do the run, but maybe around 11:30.
But that's my
after we've all had a nice breakfast.
My thing is I'd be getting up saying, you want me to run through forest now because you decided.
Yeah.
Because you decided. There's no other reason, Barry. You said, oh yeah, I'm going to torture these fuckers now 4 o'clock in the morning.
It does build character.
Oh, I would hate it so much. When I'd run, I'd be sulking every step, like, fucking shit, going running through this dirt. No, this fella getting on my back. Tears be running down me. I'd be running out pure, what's that called? Hatred. Yeah, hatred. That's what it would be.
Do you think though that if you knew you were going into war, like the way the US Army know they're going into a really conflicted area, and they know they need to be able to deal with those kind of conditions, that it would make the training a little bit easier because you're preparing for an end goal, whereas the Irish Army,
some respect,
you're like, why am I bothered?
Some respect to anybody who goes abroad and fights for the country, and the Irish boys who do the peacekeeping. That's no joke. Just thinking about it, I'd be so afraid. I actually wouldn't be able to do it. I would not be able to do it.
To go abroad?
No. I don't like being 2 weeks in Lanzarote is probably the longest I'll leave.
If we go to a new restaurant, it's an issue. I can't imagine him, sleeping in a tent in the Congo. The service here is very bad.
Yeah, it's scary. It's the unknown would freak me out.
And I'm telling you, a mate of mine was in the army and he was down in Chad. And he'd be out doing patrols at night in the dark.
Yeah.
And you hear all the African boys shouting and all that. And it'd be scary stuff. Did you ever see that movie, A Siege of Jadoville? It's on Netflix.
No, I've heard of it though.
Irish peacekeepers. Lads, watch that. Very scary. Can we move on to the positives?
Yeah, go on. Sorry, I feel like we're bashing it here. We're not.
We're not bashing
We're just genuinely interested, and also I am very frightened at the thoughts.
Twine. The money isn't great, but it's guaranteed.
Yeah.
It's hard to get fired from the army.
I think there was a big uptake in people wanting to join the army in and around when the last boom ended.
Recession.
Yeah, and people were struggling to get jobs, and then you were getting jobs, but you weren't you weren't permanent, and you had no guarantees really. If you have a mortgage, the one thing you want is steady money coming in every week, and that's what the army, the navy, whatever the defense forces can provide for you.
Yeah,
money. That's what you do a lot of things in life for.
My question is being in the army prestigious?
I can guarantee you, if you're a fella in the army and you're in good nick, and you tell a young one you're in the army, she's going to love it.
Lauren?
I don't know.
You're the one fucking exception, so Lauren.
Hang on, what do you think if a guy said he was in the army? Is it a prestigious job, or?
I don't think it is in Ireland.
What if he was an officer?
What do you mean an officer?
Does it
Like a high-ranking army official?
Corporal?
Probably would. A man in a uniform is never a bad thing.
To all the men out there in the army who are thinking about getting with Lauren, forget about it, lads. She said it's not prestigious. Yeah, she'd rather a fella who works weekends in Tesco's.
No, I think if a guy said, like, we know now from the research that they wouldn't be on huge money, but I still think it is prestigious if someone is like, oh, this is my mate, or some woman, this is my son. He's a corporal in the army or a sergeant. I think that's...
You have to admire the effort they've put into the training and that they've gotten to that level as well. So there's two sides. I've never really spoken to anyone at depth with regards to the army and their goings on.
Absolute disrespect.
I would say it is, yeah. Like if I was in the army now, my mother would be going around town telling everyone, like, that's my son, he's in the army. Definitely. Like, she's doing it at the moment anyway. Like, and I'm only telling a few jokes.
But there's something about the Irish army. Nobody can say the Irish army went bad. If you're in America, there's this on-running debate of, you know, support our troops, and then other people are like, we shouldn't be in Iraq. You know, but like nobody can say the Irish shouldn't be doing the peacekeeping or that the Irish lads shouldn't be rescuing grannies in the snow. Like, the Irish army don't put a foot wrong, in fairness to them.
Yeah, they're good
That's
lads.
very true.
Good lads and ladies. Yeah?
Sound lads, the whole lot of them. But other positives, discipline.
Yes.
There's probably lads out there that could do with a belt to the army to straighten them out. Gurriers. As my mother would say, gougers. Gougers round the town there, kicking empty cans and fag butts round the town up to no good. They could all do with a shot in the army now.
Yeah, 100%. A lot of the stories you hear is like, oh yeah, I was on the wrong side of the tracks and the army straightened me out, and it makes them a better person. And it's not for everyone, but for a lot of people it can definitely be a good outlet like that to change your life. It's perfect for people like that.
Do you think anyone still joins for patriotic reasons?
Not in Ireland.
Yeah, I don't think we're a very patriotic country. When it comes to like sport, we are, but
I mean, I don't know if we're patriotic. I think we just kind of hate England.
like you go to America and they have an American flag outside every single house and they adore their anthem. And
I lived in a house once, and I was telling you in Dunshaughlin, and we stuck an Ireland flag in the front lawn. The neighbours thought we were in the Ra. I swear to God, we were just... Ireland were in the World Cup or something at the time.
Yeah, but you also all had long hair and beards. It wasn't just the flag, lad. There was a couple of other factors as well.
Yeah, no, sorry, I don't mean that we hate England. We don't, of course, hate England. It's just that's the only thing that gets Irish people going, I think. Is like,
I think we could do being more patriotic, but do people join the army on patriotism grounds? I don't think so. It'd be cool if they did, but I don't think they do.
The army, I'd say, is good crack at times. Like the camaraderie.
But that's it. Like, you're probably in, you know, your battalion or, you know, your platoon, and there's a big group of men and women there, all bound together by one thing and stuff like that. And I think it's a good kind of team spirit, like, you know.
Yeah.
We love the GA because we're all together and there's a big group of us and we have a good fun. It's probably the same in the army.
Yeah, Lauren, you want to mention talking about the crack in the army?
So Hurler Colin Fennelly has described life in the Defence Forces as absolute boredom with nothing happening.
So this is Colin Fennelly, who won All Irelands with Kilkenny in hurling.
Yes, so he recently left the army. He said that his time in the Defence Forces had no job satisfaction and that in the army itself there's nothing to do.
Typical Kilkenny. Go on, what did he say?
Yeah, so he spent time in the Lebanon and said there was nothing happening over there. You get your run in and your gym in during the day. That's pretty much it. It was a means to an end, to be honest. I enjoyed it only because I was doing so well with Kilkenny. The Defence Forces then tweeted from their official account in response to the interview, "We are surprised and disappointed to hear these comments from a former member. We take pride in our members who achieve at the highest levels in sport. However, while sport is an integral part of our culture, it is not the only aspect." I have spoken to a couple of guys just kind of that will be playing sport and in the army as well, and they found it great in terms of their training because they would really, I suppose, help their physical condition, and they could go to work on a Monday and not do a huge amount. They might just get their gym session in then as opposed to doing it later in the evening. So there is perks to it, but like I can't imagine it's overly stimulating.
Yeah, but in fairness to the likes of Colin Fennelly, from what we've been told, the army are fairly accommodating. Mm-hmm. So what he experienced in the army was probably not everyone's experience in the army. They were probably like, look, you've got an All-Ireland semi-final at the weekend, we'll take it easy on you this week. So the lad next to him who doesn't have a big match might be getting flogged.
I remember when he first joined the army, it was the start of September when he was captain with Kilkenny in the All Ireland, and he was in the he started his training essentially the same week that he won the All Ireland with Kilkenny.
Wow.
And he was up at 6 a.m. doing these long runs, and then had to go and play the All Ireland at the weekend. Like, so it was fairly tough and grueling.
How much free? It'll be interesting to get people who are in the army. Look, if there's anybody listening here, I'm sure there is, that are in the army, get in touch. Let us know what it is like.
Yeah, because you do learn a lot of skills.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Not just like, that's one of the main positives for joining the army. You get to blow shit up.
Yeah. Who doesn't like shooting guns?
Bang.
You know what I mean? That's good crack. People pay a lot. Yeah, you know, people go to Bratislava and stuff to shoot guns. You can join the army, lad. Pew, pew, shoot, shoot. It's not a fucking western, lad. It's spaghetti western.
Pew 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 pew.
We're just, you know, talking about getting into the army. They don't shave your head in the Irish army, which is obviously, you know, that would be very important fact if we were to join the army. We could not shave our heads. Like I think people have an idea of what the army's like, you know, Full Metal Jacket job, like some fella screaming in your face, shaving your head. I don't think it's like that, but you do have to have the old cop haircut, I think, in the army.
Yeah, and you can't have any tattoos above your collar.
Okay, I'm safe enough. Your collar here, like, you can have them on your arms and shit. I think they should be compulsory that you have them on your. You look like a very dangerous fella going around with them all over you. Do you know what I mean? That's the kind of army you want, but you know, they just look at you and you go, oh shit, yeah, no.
Bunch of hard bastards.
Yeah, you know what I mean, hard shots. Would we join? I don't think I would. Johnny?
No, I think we both probably thought about it when we came out of school, but
yeah,
it's a no from me.
it's a no from us.